bring him back in the autumn, and I want to get him back in the ring again. You know, he'd give a good account of himself in there. You know, and he was in with I think, you know, one of probably the best young heavyweight out there, as he showed on the night. And Nathan, you know, caught him a couple of times, caught him a couple of good shots. But it's not the end of the world for Nathan, I can assure you.
And what happens next for Nathan then?
He'll rest up and we'll get him out in the autumn.
Okay. And with regards to the fight itself, it looked like Nathan was a little bit surprised by what Daniel brought to the fight as well. Do you see that? Well,
you know, everyone kept saying it's a boxer versus a puncher, and I didn't agree with that. I said they're both good boxers and they're both good punchers. And Daniel, in that fight, the key to I thought his success in the fight was his jab. He had a superb jab and he boxed well with it, and then let his big shots go, and that's how it turned out.
Looking at the crowd reaction as well, there seemed to be a real support around Nathan as well. There was that nice for you to see. Yeah, it's 50-50 job, wasn't it? You know, with a pair of them getting in the ring, but you know, and they deserve it. They're two fantastic young gladiators. They, you know, for guys at this stage of their career to step up to the plate and get it on, takes them doing it. I think it was the two youngest guys to ever fight for a British heavyweight title, and that tells you something. And you mentioned before you would have rather had the fight later on in both their careers. Do you still feel that way after tonight?
Well, it's gone now, isn't it? I mean, it's irrelevant, and it's past. I mean, I would love to the fight to be in a 50,000 seat stadium and banged out. We'd all like that, but that's not what it is. You deal with reality, and the reality is the fight was on and it's taken place, and now you've got a winner and you've got a loser, and now these guys are. It's up to them now to show what they've got going forward.
Do you see a Dubois-Gorman too in the future, maybe?
Well, if he gets himself back into contention, why not? You know, when Derek Chisora fought Tyson Fury and he got beat the first time, probably thought that was it, but he got back in the swing and they had a rematch.
I feel like a bit of a catch-22 for you tonight. Obviously, you promote both men. Disappointing to see Nathan like that, but
it is disappointing. I don't want to, you know. Of course, with both guys, it makes it difficult. And but at the end of the day, that's what they get paid for. They're two professional athletes, and you get winners and losers, as I said before the fight. And you know, and I just hope certain people don't take it to heart. There was no, you know, they both got treated equally the same in the fight and build up to the fight, and it is what it is. Now it's up to Nathan to, as far as he's concerned, to grit his teeth and come back. And I know he can do that because I know what he's made of.
I mean, a lot was made about the build-up. Would they be able to deal with it? I mean, especially Daniel, we said it in the press conference, he came out so calm, collected. I mean, how good is that for his experience?
Well, it's very good, but he is calm and collected. I mean, he doesn't say a lot, does he, at press conferences and so forth. He does all his talking in the ring, and that's what he did in the ring. It was a very, very mature performance.
And just running through the rest of the card, Joyce obviously came through Bryant Jennings. How did you have it? It's very split at ringside. Some saw Joyce quite far in front, others saw it quite close. How did you find it?
I thought about 4 rounds, but remember he got points taken off, so and they won that round, so that was a 2-point round, wasn't it? It wasn't a 1-point round, it was a 2-point round. They were catching each other. I always knew it was going to be a tough fight for him, and I knew that Jennings would give him a lot of problems because of the experience that he's had and the inexperience as a pro that Joe's had. It was a bit of a step up for him. The fellow was ranked above him, and he did. But he did. You know, he absorbed the punches that he got caught with. But the thing for me is they were both getting caught with punches, and I think that's something obviously that Joe's got to work on.
What does it say about Joyce stepping up to face Bryant Jennings? Obviously fought for a world title.
It says a lot about him. It says that what he's made of and where he's at. And the bottom line of it is he wanted it, and he got it. You know, that's the position he wanted himself in. He's in it, and now he's hopefully going to learn from that fight. We'll get him out in September.
Sam Jones told us that he wants Manuel Char, Povetkin, anyone of the top, maybe 5, 6. Who would you look at for him next?
I would have a really serious. I want to have a talk with Sam before that. We'll have a talk.
And just a word on the rest of the card. A massive win for Liam Williams tonight in 2 rounds. What do you make of his performance?
This guy's never been stopped before. He's done a job. He's got the bit between his teeth. He's shown a lot of power and a lot of maturity in the ring, and he's obviously settled down very well with Dominic, and it's good to see that for him.
Just a couple more. Anthony Yarde, you announced yesterday his fight with Yarde-Kovalev for August 24th in Russia. How pleased is it? Is it a relief just to get that announcement out of the way? It's been a long time coming.
We've been working on it for a long time now, and eventually we've got it over the line, and it's on. And you know, it's a tough fight for Anthony going into Kovalev's own backyard. It's his own city or town that we're going into. And as I say, but that shows you a lot about Anthony, that the fact he's willing to do that and the belief he's got in himself. And
Tyson Fury was ringside tonight, supporting obviously Nathan Gorman. Obviously, we expect him to be out in October. Am I right in saying there's been rumours of Trevor Bryan, Jarrell Miller? Where are we at with that?
He will be out at the end of September, early October, and hopefully we can sort that out in the next week or so.
Frank Warren, thanks very much for talking to Seconds Out. Cheers.
Cheers.